Hey, welcome back to Turnover Ranch. In today's video, we're going to share with you the current state of the two barns to the north, as well as the pen situation. We've already taken up some old fencing, but we plan to pull out a whole lot more this coming fall and winter, and we are excited to take you all along. So we're just going to do a little walk through. It's going to be super casual. I'm going to take y'all out to the pasture, walk you around through the pens, go show you the two barns. We call it like the rock lean-to, the run-in shed, and then there's also a white barn where we have hay and hay storage and our chickens. So I'm gonna go out here and show you guys. We're looking east over Sooner Lake, and we've already tore out quite a bit of fencing this direction, but this is what it looks like right now. It's September, it's hot, it's brown and dry. We could sure use some rain, but this is where we're at for the end of summer. I'm gonna pan around here. This is looking north. This is almost the north side of our property. That green is farm ground, and that's not us. So here you have the barn. The roof progress is in process right now, and the big burn pile out back. In this area, we plan to have a roping arena and a riding arena, just all in one. We hope to till it up, bring in some good footing and sand, take out the old fences, and put up new. So we're excited about that. Here to the north, we do have, I think, 3 fences here to take out. And little by little, we'll be working on that in the next coming months and years, I'm sure. But we just want to take you along here so you can kind of see where everything's at for now. And in the future, in the next few months and years, we'll tag this video back in case you ever want to refer back to it. And you can kind of watch the progress and see how the fencing comes along, how the corrals come along. We plan to get a cattle chute eventually, put up a round pen, and weld up some permanent horse pens. We're going to do some horse runs and a bunch of fun stuff like that. So we're going to walk around here and just take a peek at what we got going on. So in this area here, or I'm going to zoom in, you can see there's overheads there by the trees. And in this area, we plan to put an alleyway straight towards where I'm standing. The alley will go all the way down. And this will be super helpful for keeping any animals separated by an alley. Sometimes it's nice not to have them across the fence from each other. And then here, panning back south, you can kind of see that's where the arena will be, and where I'm standing, we are planning to put the round pen. Again, these are all dreams and plans. Likely a lot of this will change, but this is what we've got going on for now. So I will take you over the fence. I'm gonna climb the fence here, hang with me for a minute, and show you all a peek in this direction. Right now, we just have it open for our personal horses to come in here and graze the little bit of grass there is and weeds and get some shade. But that's where the alley is. You can see down this way as I zoom in those overheads. We plan to extend the alley all the way down here to where I'm sitting on the fence. We will be taking out these panels and welding up permanent fencing here. I'm not sure if we're doing continuous panel or a solid pipe fence, but Cody will be welding up that here in the near future. That's one of the next big projects we've got going on. And then take a walk with me this direction. They had a bunch of kind of pens set up here, a funnel area down. I think they ran a bunch of cattle through here years ago. So we plan to have kind of a different system. They had a funnel system. We would rather have square pens. So all of this old fencing is going to come out. Again, we've taken out quite a bit, but we plan to take out quite a bit more. Just kind of showing you what we got here for now. It's pretty hodgepodge because a lot of it is broken and half of it taken out, and so it's just pretty scrappy all around. It doesn't look the best. So we're really excited to get on with this project and help clean up the area, make it a whole lot more safe because it's been pretty nerve-wracking. We don't really want to have plant horses in this area much because it's hazardous and such. So we do have our personal animals over here, but it's not the best fencing right now. So you can see the barn progress here. I'm just going to show you a quick peek of that. The roof's coming along. It's looking really, really good. So here I'm back to the alleyway. Again, we're going to have this alleyway all the way down. I think it's going to be super helpful for running cattle, running horses, and all the things. There is a old tin horn here. There's a lot of water that can come off of that crop ground north of us, and it can become like a creek through here, but I'm not sure. We're gonna have to change it up a little bit. This is not gonna really work right here to have this pipe exactly like they have it, because we're gonna want to run animals right through here. We're gonna have to redo a bit of this, but it does need to have a tin horn because it can literally get like a pretty large creek through this area. So a lot of water can run at times when we have heavy torrential rains. But anyways, tongue twister there. But I'm gonna walk you north here behind this old rock. This old rock barn is like a lean-to run-in shed style. It has 3 walls. And I'm gonna walk you over towards the north side of it. And they have a fence, again, going off at an angle. We plan to tear this out and do a straight fence north, and behind it is gonna be, and it currently is my milk cow pasture where I have jerseys and dairy cows. Of course, there's tons of burn piles as we gather brush and old fence posts, and there is just an astronomical amount of wire and metal and boards and fence posts, limbs. I mean, the amount of picking up is pretty astronomical. So this is where we're at. We do plan to kind of fence this north side of our property here in a long skinny area for my milk cows, and they'll have that area kind of on the back side of the barn / the north side of all of our pens. So I'm really excited to see how Cody transitions all these pens and does a big makeover, makes them super compatible for working horses out of. Who knows, maybe events one day, having cattle through here, maybe a horse motel. Like the possibilities are endless. We don't know what we're gonna do with all of it yet, but we have a lot of ideas. So we would really like to divide this up into runs. So again, if there is an event or we have guests over, or if we have plant horses in, there could be runs that they could have shade. And then in the summer, this is supposed to be grass. It's just incredibly dry right now, but they would be able to have a long skinny run where they could have shade from the sun or block from the wind in the winter. It is a wall on the north side, which is really wonderful for the north wind. So they'd be pretty big as far as pretty long runs, but more narrow. So we're really excited about that. And then they would connect to the alleyway. You can see there is currently that alleyway there, and we just kind of plan to tear that out and reconstruct it in pretty much the same spot. It might move slightly, but that's about where we're going to be doing that. We will be doing just over the alleyway there some RV spots, hookups, electrical, water eventually. Again, if we have events or friends, family, whatever, come stay. Horse trailers be a great spot right there. You can park and your horses can be right out your door basically. More pens, more old fencing here needs tore out and reconstructed so we can actually run some yearlings through here hopefully in the next couple years. I'm going to show you all here on the west side of this run-in shed, this rock barn run-in shed. They had, I guess they were old tack rooms. It looks like there's old saddle racks in them. There's currently 2 rooms, and again, endless possibilities. We're really excited. Don't know exactly how it will turn out. We're not sure if we're bringing water and electricity over here yet. Is it just going to be a little rustic bunkhouse with like some bunk beds in it? Or are we going to make it really nice, make it Airbnb, run water, do a bathroom, do a kitchen? Are we going to keep it small? This one's pretty small here. This is the south one, and it's pretty small. We could bust out the wall, and I'll show you the other side. We could bust out the wall and make it one big room. We could keep them separate. there's a lot of potentials. I showed this on Instagram, and actually it showed on Facebook as well a couple weeks prior to me posting this video, and y'all had a lot of really cool ideas. So if you have more ideas, DM them to us, PM us, drop comments in the box here on YouTube. We love to hear ideas. But this is a dream project in the next year, 2, 3, who knows exactly when it will get done. But beautiful rock, old wood. It would be such a cool space to have a guest house, a bunkhouse, Airbnb, something really cool. And it would be right here off of our cattle pens and near where the horses, the runs would be for the horses for our guests and such. And hey ponies, well, they decided to come over and visit. So just panning you here through the lean-to shed rock barn. It's pretty big. I'm not sure how long it is, but it's pretty long. So there's a lot of potential for this area, and we'll see with time where it goes. But this is what it looks like in the current condition as of now. So there's lots of old wooden gates. A lot of them don't even work. A few of them do, but I'm sure if they could talk, they'd tell a lot of stories because there's a lot of character over here. So as I keep moving west here through the pens, there are a lot of trees. There is a white barn over here, but you can hardly see it because there's so many trees. We've read different articles in history on this place, and we hear that maybe in the 90s, is 1990s sometime, they quit using the pens. So the trees are probably about 30-ish years old. I'm gonna jump you over this little wall so you can see out back. That's my dairy pasture back there. And you can see the neighbor's house there through the corner of this video. We have one neighbor up front. Other than that, we don't really have any neighbors around that we can see for a couple of miles. But yeah, I think these trees are about 30 years old, more or less, when the pens stopped being used. Don't know what kind they are. This white barn we use for like a hay barn, or machines. It's a nice another little shelter. In the front we use it for chickens. You'll be able to see that here in a minute. This is one of my favorite old gates. I'll walk you through that in a minute, but I just appreciate all the details, the old stuff. I think it is so cool. We do plan to keep some of the old gates, old hinges and things, use them as much as possible. If not, I might use them in my house for some doors, creating some cool old walls. Who knows? So many possibilities, so many dreams, so much work and time, a little bit at a time. But it's really fun to walk through and dream and plan and scheme up ideas. So we'll see how things unfold. It'll be fun to come back and watch this video in 6 months or 6 years and see what has actually taken place over what we thought would take place. So as we walk in here, I will show you the trees, and the thorns on these trees are like something I've never seen. I'm not sure what kind of trees they are, but it's probably the trees and the thorns that Jesus wore as his crown when he was crucified, because these thorns are like none other. And I'm not sure exactly how we're going to rip them out, because it's not going to be very much fun to cut them up and pull all this brush out, because these trees have thorns and thistles like I have never seen. Pretty intense. You can see barely through here. I'll walk you through I think they had like an old alleyway here that would go to the loadout chute, and then in a minute I'll take you around to where I think they probably had their cattle working chute, where they'd run their cows or yearlings or whatever through. Right now we just have some chickens out here. It's very hodgepodge, just barely set up just so that things can survive right now. It's not set up permanently. It's just a dwelling for our chickens at the moment because it's in the trees and we aren't even really using this space. Under this south side of the white barn, there's this lean-to that we have chickens. There's these old milking stanchions, which I wish these things could tell a story because they are really cool. Unfortunately, I won't be using them because the way we're going to have things set up, this isn't in my ideal location, but it is a really cool thing. We will probably end up taking it out and putting something else in this area one day. But for now, I will pan you back around. We are looking south, actually. These pens are all south. We're going to be tearing most of these trees out. You can see some metal pipe fence here. We're going to tear the trees and the fencing out all the way to here. We want to open up kind of the yard off of the driveway for big trucks with trailers, semis, etc. being able to turn around in this area. And I will walk you down down where they had what we think was their chute. You can see they had an electrical pole and such, and they had the loadout chute. So I'll just walk you through this area. You can kind of see there's concrete. They probably had their chute anchored down on this concrete, we're guessing. Like they had it split off where cattle could go over the concrete, and then they could also go up through the loadout chute. And the loadout chute is way cool. Check this out, you guys. As we come over here, give me just a second and I'll show you this loadout chute. It has so much character. I'll show you around the front too in just a few minutes. But it is really neat. Unfortunately, it's not in good enough condition that we'll be able to reuse it. We will need to pull it out. But we do plan to save, again, as many boards as possible and use them for things in our house or inside the big rock barn to keep the old rustic character as much as possible. But it has to be reliable, strong, sturdy. So that's some of our plans. For this area, you can kind of see, looking back at the rock lean-to barn and also the alleyway in this area. Give me just a minute and I'll show you a few more little details here. I just love looking at all this old wood and stuff. Way cool. I'll walk you through the trees and around the other side, see what else I can show you. For now, these trees, I kind of feel like it's dreamy under here. It's kind of a neat little area. There's not a lot of trees in this area of Oklahoma and this part of the country, so it's kind of nice, but we do plan to take them out. You can see the driveway area, and this is what we'll be taking out, the fencing where I'm standing and the trees so we can turn semis around and such, and using all the metal and such for, of course, all this fencing we need to do. A lot of fencing we need to build. Okay, let's take a walk this way. I'll show you all around this corner. Let's see here. We're gonna walk through this gate here in just a second and around, and you'll be able to see the huge junk pile we've started. Old metal, old fencing stuff we've already torn out. A lot of stuff needs to be taken to the dump, to the trash, burned, buried, all the things. A lot of stuff to redo. I'm so sad this place wasn't kept up for the past, I don't know, 30 years, 50 years. I don't know how well they kept it up when they used it even. But it's sad because I'm sure it was a fabulous place, and now it needs a lot of work to get it back into working order. But we will do our best to do that little by little, bit by bit, and we will hopefully restore it to its condition and even better as we work with our family to make it a better place. So little by little, let's just spin you around through here. You can look at our chicken area, a little bit of hay storage. I don't know, they might have had like some calf stalls or something there. I'm not exactly sure what that was. What they used it for. Old gutters, they have like some water storage holding tanks and stuff like that. It would be really neat to be able to talk to the original owners and who used it and kind of how they used it and how they worked everything. But for now, we get to guess and do our best to rebuild it back. So around here, I'll take you on the west side of the barn, of the white barn, and I'm sure y'all have seen on Instagram and Facebook, I take a lot of videos over here when I feed my dairy cattle and such. This guardrail is new. Cody, that was one of the first projects Cody did. He welded up the guardrail, put in a gate. That was really nice for my dairy cattle when I'm milking a couple times a week. And yeah, if you know of anybody in North Central Oklahoma, we are offering farm fresh eggs and farm fresh milk. So you can message us on Facebook or Instagram if you would be interested in any farm fresh goodies. Hopefully one day we can offer pork and beef, but at the moment we have eggs and milk to offer. I'm going to walk this direction going south towards the driveway. You'll be able to see this new pen that Cody built. We call it Maui's pen because that's our current cow and milk, and she stays there quite a bit. Right off the driveway, it's a nice little trap. You may have also seen it if you watched our fencing video, because that's one of the first fencing projects we did over July 4th, 2024 here. And I will walk you going towards the barn now, going back east, and I'll show you a little bit of the character along the way. The loadout chute, cool rusty old nails, all the old things along the way. There's an old scale. I'm not sure if we can really save any of this. It'd be really cool if it was still usable. But there's an old scale here, but the weights are no longer there and stuff, so it's just kind of collapsed. But really, really neat area. I'm not sure if we'll put a scale there or somewhere else, but I'm sure we will be putting a scale in one day or another. Here, I'll walk you over towards all this metal. This is the roof, the old roof metal. If you know of anybody interested in North Central Oklahoma, we have over 20,000 square feet of old tin. You can use it for furniture, decorating, walls, ceilings, etc. And it did come off this old historic rock barn, and we don't know all the facts, but we hear it's the largest rock barn in the US and maybe in the world, but don't quote me on all that.